Welcome back to Ruiniverse. I'm Andrew, and today I'm playing Stonesaga. So this is the Tabletop Simulator demo version of the game that is currently crowdfunding on Kickstarter. And I played this last week as well. I played through the tutorial scenario, which kind of walks you through learning the different actions in the game. I have to admit, I did not have a great time. Hopefully you couldn't tell from the video, but I felt kind of lost and unguided. I was just doing everything it said step by step instead of really feeling like I was playing a game. I felt like I was playing a tutorial, but not like a particularly fun version of the tutorial. But the game still seems super intriguing. I love the theme and everything. And there are two more like scenarios in the demo. So I'm back and let's give it another try. And part of the problem I had was also the tutorial rules kind of made it sound like you shouldn't read the full rules. You should just play from the tutorial. I'm the kind of person, I prefer to just know how everything works. And I didn't really like the way it didn't really tell me everything I felt like I needed to know. So this time I came prepared and I read the whole rule book, which actually I think was pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with where we are now. And this is going to be our scenario for this game, putting down roots. So we've already found ourselves in the Vale. We're exploring. We're like, I guess, primitive people, and we're learning how to make some tools. And we're learning how to, we haven't made fire yet, but we're going to be able to stoke the flame. Hopefully that's one of our objectives. So it says your people continue to arrive in the valley as the years pass. When autumn omens of an unknown hardship begin to accumulate with the falling leaves, you conclude that it will be a harsh winter and begin preparations for an outpost to shelter the most vulnerable among your people. The vital goal is to establish an outpost, which I think means I need to pull a card out here. I didn't grab that one. Establish an outpost. Is that one of these? Here, I need this card. This is the most important one. So I'm going to need to do this. Nights in the valley are cold and shadows stalk under the moonlight. Using supplies gathered previously, you can build a refuge. Building an outpost in some locations requires particular technologies, forage and mine to find materials, and try crafting to uncover the correct tech icons. Refer to the outpost rules and reference card for more instructions. All right, so the rules on how to build an outpost were in the main rulebook, although I don't necessarily remember everything, but I think you got to spend like 4 energy and a bunch of supplies, but you can do it as a group. So this one says to build a structure and an outpost in their hex, the character selects the structure card. No, this is not what I want. Outpost. Well, these are all double-sided. Oh boy. Outpost. To build an outpost in their hex, the character must perform the following actions. Spend 4 energy, place an outpost. Other characters can contribute. Placing an outpost over certain terrain requires the character performing the action or character contributing the action to have an item with a specific technology. So forest, wetlands, river, lake, chasm, mountain, and moraine. But where we are here. What if I just want to do like the grasslands? Oh, maybe that's not an option, it seems like. So I'm going to have to build one of those tools because the way this works, you're going to grab one of these, I guess, and then place it. And they have to go in one of these 3 orientations. I'm going to need to change my rotation. And they go here, or it can go here, or it can go here. So each of those 3 positions has at least one terrain feature that is going to be covered up. Does this one have it? Can I build here? Because this would have the chasm. This doesn't have anything. There's nothing there. There's nothing here. So maybe this is, I mean, that's a big old egg thing, but I wonder if that's the right type of place where we can just build an outpost without having to build a special tool. I don't see any rules against putting my outpost on this space, for example. So I might end up doing that, but it costs 4 energy, and I think we got some other priorities to get to first. For example, we are also going to need food just for our characters, but we also have this epic goal, or epoch. On the right there's Gatherstone, Seek the Omens, and Stoke the Flames are epic goals, which you don't have to do during a particular challenge, is what the rules call it, but during this game, we don't have to do those things. That we can save them for later in the epic, and I assume the progression, these event cards will tell us when we're in the next, when we have to move on to the next epic. But for now, I assume we'd be able to do these next turn or next game. If we don't want to do them now, we do need to establish an outpost though. But I like having these objectives, so I can try to do all of them. Stoke the Flame is the one I kind of put the most preparation into, because as we move between first game and second game, the characters got to bring 5 things with them from their bag that I ended up with before. So I kept her with a bunch of wood so she can try to make fire. In addition, the rules say that every game after your first, characters get a special ability tile or a mantle ability. So I've given them each one. I feel like it's a little bit off that I don't know that I'm supposed to have these, but it did say every game after your first. So I've gone ahead and selected from the ones up here. They're kind of, I flipped them all over, but I gave each character one. And I don't know if these abilities match their mantle, because all I know is that she's yellow and he's green. I couldn't see any names for which color is which mantle. So, but I assume it doesn't matter because the player board and the miniature don't really do anything. Let's see if I can put that in so that I can read it. There we go. So she's going to have this ability, Beast Slayer. She can spend an energy to gain a major boost to strength or dexterity. And he's going to have the ability to spend an energy to resolve a discovery card with +2. Both my characters do have pretty low stats though. But that's part of why I decided to take this boost, because she's going to need a major boost to get a +2 on her dexterity roll. That'll bring it up to a +5 to a d6 roll in order to try to make fire. So Stoke the Flame requires you to spend an energy and make a test of dexterity or trees being conviction, in order to start a fire. But 10 plus was as a success. So with a 3 plus a major boost, that's +2. So you get a +5 and need to roll a 5 or a 6. So I definitely see the possibility of us wasting some energy and sticks trying to stoke this fire. And then gather stores. We want to store 5 food on this. And Seek the Omens is just to basically this is like another kind of like the first tutorial, where it's just kind of like try everything please. This is kind of a try everything please type of objective. It's like, hey, you can seek omens, you should try it out. So hopefully we'll figure that out. But yeah, I didn't realize I was going to do this outpost. Somehow I saw all the goals on the right side of that card, but not on the left. So build an outpost. But yeah, their characters are going to need food and water, food or water to start out. And I found out I was doing something else incorrectly before, which is I was kind of letting any character act in any order, like even the same character could go repeatedly. It seems like that should be fine, but the rules do say that the same character can't act twice in a row. I wonder if that's for like if you're playing a 4-player game, just everybody kind of gets a shot, make sure things are moving around the table. Feel like there's nothing wrong with, as a solo player controlling 2 player boards, you can just do whatever you want, but I'm going to try to follow the rules there until somebody passes. So if he runs himself out of energy, then she can go ahead and do as much as she wants, because not all actions are created equal. I think I will start by having him forage. So if you haven't read the rules yourself, or you didn't watch the tutorial video, we're going to go over here. And actually, let's see, he is in a forest, or I guess this is no, over here. Yeah, no, he's in the forest. So he's got forest or forest as his 2 options of where to forage. So we'll go over here, and I'm going to shuffle up this forest deck, and I'm going to draw 2 cards, and I'm going to pick one. So the things I'm looking for is I am looking for food. I'm looking for water. So there's a fish and water. It's pretty nice. We've got predators in the back on both, slightly different sizes, but they're technically in the back row. So there's a front, a middle, and a back row, and predators in the back is better for us. I could try to hunt this thing, but he's not particularly actually he uses dexterity, so that's even worse. She has a sling now, which is nice, but she's not the one foraging. Foraging is how you hunt, so you start by foraging and you could end up hunting, but she's not the one there, and she doesn't have any rocks for her sling anyway. So hunting is not really on the table. He does have the might if he does end up in a fight with a predator, but hopefully he doesn't. The wood and fiber is nice, but I'm going to take the card with the water and the fish on it, and then I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to draw 2 more cards and decide which of these to add on to my growing tableau. So this one has a monster, which means I actually have to take it because I already have a card with a monster. So I don't or predator. I don't have a choice on that case. And now, it's more likely that that monster or predator will attack me. If I stop now, I can get 2 root plants, which isn't bad, or I can get this cloudstone, this hidden cloudstone, along with some nuts. I was not looking for cloudstone or nuts. I was hoping to come home with like a giant stash of food. 2 root plants is the best I could do right now. I wonder if I should push my luck because I'm a little afraid of the predator. There's a 1 in 6 chance that he could beat the predator and end up with a good bit of meat. But 1 in 6 are not great odds. All right, so I think I will stop, and we're going to take this single nut, but with the cloudstone makes it worth it, hopefully. And now I'm just going to check. Let's see what would have happened. So this would have been totally safe. We would have gotten 2 more nuts. Or, yeah, wow, it would have been totally safe. I could have even gotten 2 water and 2 fish. Dang. But I stopped because I was scared. So we're going to get a nut and a cloudstone. Shuffle that up. And then we're going to go over here. There's our nut and a cloudstone for him. And then, so he can store as much as he wants to in his bag until we get to night. And then it all has to actually fit. But it's not really in danger of that for now. So she's next. We can't do multiple actions with him. So I think I'm going to do, actually, we're just going to do Beast Slayer right off the bat. Gain a major boost to might or dexterity. So we're going to spend 1 energy for that. I put our energy is in her health track for some reason. And now she's going to get a major boost. And we're going to put that to her dexterity. So now you can see that +2 is going to be applied to her next dexterity roll. And yeah, that's it for her turn. So back to green. I guess technically I'm playing him as a Mantle of the Wanderer, and she is a seeker. I don't know if that matches their colors and miniatures and whatnot, but those are the abilities they have at least. And I think I'm tempted to do a processing action. So processing now, I've got an item which can grind. You can see that bottom right symbol there means it can be used to grind things. And if this is ground, it can transform. I actually don't know what it would become, but you can see it's got a grind. It can be used to grind, but it can also be ground in order to turn into something else. This needs to be struck. And I do have a striking item. This also needs to be struck in order to be edible. So in order to eat our nut, we have to open it first. So if he did a process action, he could use each of his processing icons. But right now he's only got 2. He can strike 1 thing and he can grind 1 thing. So what would they be? Or he can go fishing. Because he did not succeed at getting food. So let's save all of that for later. In fact, does she have an arrowhead? Oh, she spent her arrowhead to make arrowheads before. So she doesn't have an arrowhead anymore. We need to make another one by striking this. We can chisel this river stone into an arrowhead, which means we don't have a knife symbol in order to process these items, even if I were to get the fire, which is what I'm going to try to do on her turn. But for him, instead, I guess we're fishing. So, because I still need food and or water for them before we get to night. And he's going to be running low on energy already. So fishing, we go over here, shuffle the fishing deck, pull 1 card and flip it over. And you can see we've got water ×2, fish or water and a stone. Is that like the basic card? That's one of the basic cards. And then this is going to go here. Oh, I'm going to have to turn my 60-degree rotation off. Guess I'll have to use 30 degrees because there's a lot of different things I have to rotate at different angles in this game. Tabletop Simulator problems. All right, and now that I have my 2 cards set up, I need to grab 4 dice and roll them and then assign them to these different strikes locations. So what I really want is water and fish. So I'm going to put, the fish has a pretty low value as well. 2 water will sustain both my characters through the night though. So 6, what's the worst this could be? Is it ×2, right? So I feel like a single die will do it. But for this 5, if that's a ×2, I'm going to want 10, but I don't have 10 worth of dice left. I could do 6, 10, and then put 3, 6. and then hopefully both of those are guaranteed. And this die is weird. The 3 is not on the 3 face. If you press the number key over a die in Tabletop Simulator, it changes the die to that die face. But somehow they did not map the die faces to match. All right, so now that I've assigned my dice to the strike zones, I'm going to draw the next fishing card, flip that one over. Oh, wow. And all 3 lines end up with ×2. So this 5 becomes black, starting with the black line, ending here becomes a ×2. So 5 becomes 10. Red line, 3 becomes 6. 4 on the white line becomes 8. So normally those are different values, but in this case it's all 3 ×2s, and I have to resolve each strike zone individually. So this 3 and 3 along the red line, so I'm not on any other color line, so I have to resolve it against red. But fortunately, 3 + 3 is 6, 3 × 2 is 6, and I pass. I get a fish because that's what's pictured here, and it says I get a bonus. So I'm going to go to the fishing card, and where am I fishing? I'm fishing at a lake. So fishing at a lake means I get the bonus that matches a lake, which is an additional fish. All right, so that's 2 fish so far, and they're on their fresh side, which is good. And then I also resolve every strike zone, so I'll also resolve this strike zone down here, which is 4 + 6 is 10. It's on black or white, so I can resolve it against either one. So if it had failed against black somehow, I could choose to resolve it against white instead because the strike zone is on both colored lines. But I wanted the double water, I think. Oh man, now I got so much fish that I'm wondering if I want to take the rock. But I think I still want water because all my food I'm going to be funneling into the objective. And characters don't actually need to eat as long as they can drink. So if I give them water, they'll be fine. You want to give them food and water if they need to heal from an injury. But if they aren't healing, then in terms of just gaining energy back for the night, they just need one or the other. If they don't get either, then they get an injury, which is not good. But anyway, that's why I'm thinking all the food I get is going to the objective. So water is going to be for actually feeding my people. But yeah, 4 × 2 is 8. I could choose that. 5 × 2 is 10. I'm going to choose that. So also, that's another bonus. It's another lake bonus. So I get another fish. So I actually get 3 fish and 2 water. And so let's put that with him and 2 water. So the 2 water will mean they're set for the night. And the 3 fish means I can make good progress toward this objective here. And then these 3 cards need to go back in the fishing deck. So that was his turn. Do I just send the food right over right now? Probably. I mean, technically we'll decide at the right before the night phase, but yeah, he's not gonna have room. It's gonna be tough trying to fit everything in the bag. So I mean, he can share it with her. He can just give it to her because they're in the same hex with each other. But again, I don't have to decide now. So let's go to her, and I'm gonna try to make a fire. Man, I'm not excited about trying to make a thing here because they're gonna have to walk down there, and I don't really like this tile. So maybe I don't want to build an outpost there. Maybe I want to try to figure out how to build whatever tool I need to maybe put it in this forest. Because the nice thing about, I guess it doesn't matter. For traveling between hexes, moving through a forest takes 2 energy, but I feel like the river also takes 2 energy. So I wonder, I mean, this is open, this is open. So covering either of these is only like half good. I just have really bad travel. I mean, if I cover this chasm with a outpost, then it becomes easy travel between these 2 tiles, but it doesn't really help crossing this river to get back to this starting tile. I don't know where I want to build yet, but I'm gonna try to make fire. So we're gonna stoke the flames. She's gonna have to discard a wood to do a dexterity test, and she needs a 10. Her dexterity is 3, but with the bonus of 2. So she's going to get +5. So we need a 5 or 6. We're going to spend a wood, roll a single die, and a 4 is a 9. So she failed, and we have to flip that back to the 1 side. So now her bonus is decreased, and next time she tries, she will need a 6 to succeed. That brings it back to his turn. And I mean, I think that's my game plan. If I'm going to start fire, the best I can do is give her a major boost and then have her just try and just shoot for the stars on that. So we're gonna have to find a lot of wood. We have to do stuff like that. And I guess he's going to be the one processing. If I had grabbed another river stone from the fishing, I would have another thing I could crack, but I'm not short on things that need processing. I'm short on things that can process. So I think I will spend his last energy. You don't necessarily have to spend it all. It's good to save it because you don't refill to full automatically at night. But I'm going to spend it, and I kind of want to find out what's on the other side of this. Or I could crack a nut to eat it, or to store it on that objective. Would be one food away. But maybe just save that. Something needs to be ground. If I use this to grind this, and this to crack or carve this, is that what I want to do? Then I'll have two items that can crack, because the cloudstone will turn into a refined cloudstone or whatever, and I can open more nuts and whatnot later. But I don't want to have anything that can grind anymore, so I kind of want to grind this sunstone before I lose the thing that I can use to grind. All right, so let's do that. So we spend his energy already. Now we're processing. I have a grinding symbol. This needs to be, oh no, I have, never mind. This is a grinding symbol, so I'm going to grind this. Boom, I have another cracking tool. I need something else that can grind in order to grind this. I don't have anything else that can grind. So we don't get to find out what's on the other side. This can be used to crack or strike. So we're going to strike this river stone to flip it. And now we have an arrowhead, which it can be used as a knife, but not right now. And also these two things that could have a knife used on them also require fire, which we don't have yet. So it's back to her. And I'm wondering if she should... Oh, I'm definitely going to give her a water. Just get that ready. Put his water ready as well. And do I try again? The thing is, if I don't try again, I don't know if I want to get rid of this boost, because I want to spend it so that she can use this ability again to get another major boost. I don't think the rules actually say what happens if you have a minor boost, but you gain a major boost. I don't think you can have both. Like, it's not going to become a +3. I imagine it would transform the minor boost into a major boost, so you're kind of losing half of the major boost, because the major boost is kind of used twice. It's used once as a +2 and then becomes a minor boost that's then used as a +1. I mean, I'm happy to use the minor boosts that I got as leftovers, but I have to spend a wood to do it. So I'm wondering if I don't want to spend the wood on a 1 in 6 chance. And it's better to waste the minor boost, wait till next round to use this again, and reset it back to a 1 in 3 chance of my wood being useful. I think that is the case. And so I'm going to spend one of her energy in order to build a camp. I think it's called a camp, something like that. We're just going to put that up in the cave so they have somewhere they can rest. They get extra energy during the night phase for that. And then, they're going to regain 2 by default. If we go to night phase, there are 2 characters, so they get 2 energy each. They're both going to spend a water. That puts them to 3 energy each. They're both going to be in a camp, so that puts them to 4 energy each. And that's it. If you filled your energy track, you get a minor boost. So maybe, I wonder if a minor boost stacks onto a minor boost to become a major boost. Again, I didn't see anything in the rules about that, so I'm going to assume it does. And that means I don't want to waste an energy because we're going to refill it. But I also don't want to spend 2 energy because I want her to fill back up to full to get a boost. So I'm going to spend a single energy to do the very basic action of gather water. They're in a hex with a water feature, so she can just get 2 water with that basic action. And that is going to be the end of the player phase. So a few things happen as we go into the night. This root is, we kept that from last time. I assume it kept its fermented status. It's starting to go bad. So I will deposit that onto the gather stores goal. The rules don't say that they say items in your player inventory and in like special storage features that I don't have access to yet will go bad, but it doesn't say anything about items that you've placed on a goal card. So I think by locking it into the goal, we've preserved it. These 3 fish are going to become fermented because we're not eating them, but we can still store them for now and decide at the end of next round if we want to save them on the goal card or eat them. We have room for everything. They're in the same hex, so they can exchange items before or after actions. So this is after her water action. And then I guess we can resolve the night phase. So she's going to spend a water get an energy for that, get 2 energy by default because I'm playing with 2 characters, and get an energy for being at a camp. He's going to get 2 by default, 1 for the water and 1 for the camp. Delete that water. So she filled up, but he didn't. So she's going to get a minor boost, which I'm assuming I can use to turn a minor into a major. And we have to reconcile the inventory, just make sure everything fits in the bags, which they do. I mean, this one's clipping the edge there, but I could easily move stuff around. And then we resolve a night card. So I'm going to shuffle that up and let's see what happens at night. Resolve if your hex has plains, mountain, or moraine. We do have a mountain, so we can resolve this. Just as night falls, a strong wind comes howling through your camp. A storm approaches. At the top of the card, you can see that it is a weather card and a champion card. So the rules don't really say anything about weather specifically, but it does say champion. There is rules for that, which means that we're going to have to choose one of our characters to resolve it. Although it does pretty clearly say someone in your hex must test might to secure your shelter. Add +2 if there's a camp. So we can have our green guy do that. He has a 4 there, and we're going to get +2 because we do have a camp. So that's going to be +6. And let's see what he gets. So yeah, we got 4 plus we're in a camp. So roll that. And I got a 6. So he's got a 12 total, which sounds pretty good. 12 plus your shelter holds and you shrug off the cold. Oh, would have been nice to get a positive effect, but I guess everything else would have been negative. At the bottom of the card, it says activity +1. So I need to go over to the activity dial and add 1. So we're now at 1. And that's relevant because this card says that if we, during the night phase, at the end of the night phase, if we had 6 or more activity, something potentially bad would happen. But in this case, we only have 1. At the bottom right of this card, there's a cloud and a sun. So now we have 2 active omens for our second day here. And that doesn't do anything unless we go mining or if we're trying to search for omens somehow. I wonder if, oh, there is, look at that. There is a comet on this tile. So if the active omen had been comet, pretty sure this looks like a comet, right? Like that little inside that eggshell, that looks like a comet. So that would be something we could explore with the omen, seek the omens action. I mean, you don't have to have this goal card in play to seek omens. This is just telling me that I should seek an omen in order to complete this goal. But that's an example, I think, of something we might be looking for. I haven't done it yet, so I don't know. But now I'm kind of scouring all the tiles to see if I can find any. But I can't check this omen because we don't have that as our current omen. I mean, I can only check suns or clouds. Move out of the way. I'm trying to look for omens. See any suns or clouds? Not really. So I can explore more tiles and look for options for that. But I spent a lot of time reading the rulebook, so I need to go to bed. But I'll be back to continue the game for you in just a second. All right, so time for day 2, and I realized a couple of things today. One is the rules say that the characters between sessions, they can save 5 item cards and 5 materials. One of the materials I had yellow keep was this root that I put on the card, but that's actually not a material. That is a food item. That is a different classification. She should not have been able to keep that material, but I'm going to fix it. She did end the previous session with a bone, so I'm going to just swap that out. So that is fixed, but I'm still going to need 5 full food for gather stores. The second thing I realized is I've been kind of focusing on her starting a fire, but once I start the fire, you have to spend wood to keep it going every night. And if I start a fire, I think I'm pretty much just going to be putting it at this camp. I think that's how it works, but it might make more sense to start a fire at our new settlement that we haven't made yet. So I might wait until I make an outpost and then focus on starting a fire. Because if I manage to start a fire and then make an outpost, and then I'm going to probably want to make a fire there, and then I'll have to start over with my lucky dice rolling. So let's hold off on fire starting for now and instead focus on the settlement, which means I either need to put the settlement like here. I think I could do it there without having to use any special tools, or here, but I don't want to cover up my potential comet investigation. Or I could explore and try to find something. So it might make sense to try to explore this space here and see what we find. So in terms of water, we're actually good. Both characters have water for tonight, so I'm already prepared for that. I do want to finish, it'd be nice to finish at least one objective card. So I've got, what, 3 food toward that already. And the only reason I wouldn't want to spend food is if one of them gets injured during the day today. We've also got a nut, and what do I have in terms of tools? I have a grinder and 2 crackers, but I don't have anything. Oh, and a cutter, but I don't have anything to use any of those things on anymore. This would be, I would want to use it on itself, but without fire, I don't have anything to do. These both need drills and knife, and I don't have a drill. I could try to craft something rather than trying to process something. So let's see, how did I make arrows? I wonder if I could make like a hammer by using this stick. I don't know what a hammer would necessarily do, but it's an option. I probably need to turn this wood into hardened wood before it'll be too useful. So maybe I just want to get more grinding items. Try to see if I can find more sunstone. Let's see, what are our omens now? We've got cloud and sun. I don't know. Let's see. So if I'm specifically looking for sunstone, that is most likely to be in a cave or chasm, or really anywhere except for the dried flat mountain. Each of those has 2 chances at sunstone. The cave has a chance at clay, which I haven't found any of yet. So I might do sunstone, cloudstone, clay, riverstone by mining in the cave. We do have a cave here, so we can choose that option. So I just have to have somebody spend 2 energy. Problem with exploring would be then they're split up, and whoever explored then is not at camp. So I might actually want to explore first and kind of play it by ear from there. So I think I'm going to have her explore. So it's going to cost 2. I'm going to need another tray, and I can put it wherever I want, as long as it's touching 2 tiles. So maybe like this, actually. Well, yeah, I'm going to go to this space. I'm just wondering where I might want to go back to. Like if I want to come back and investigate this comet at some point. So maybe like this. And it's nice that this is open. This isn't blocked on either edge. All right, so we're going to get 3 tiles. Let's shuffle them up. I don't know if that works. Press R to shuffle. So put these 3 face down, and then we're just going to flip it over. And ooh, that's a pretty place. Definitely not any clear ground to build in, but now I see another symbol there. You can see a moon symbol up on the ground by those 3 pillars, but we don't have moon as our current omen. So now I can explore moon or comet, but we're on sun and cloud. So she is going to arrive here. Question is, do I want to make a camp here now? And yeah, these mountains are going to block travel down to here and down to here, wherever we end up putting there as well. I guess this is a moraine, or would that just be called a mountain? I don't know. Or a lake. The picture of the moraine in the rules does not really show that, but neither do any of these other pictures. So don't know what that's supposed to be. I'm going to say it's a moraine just because it's not any of these other things either. But yeah, that's not really going to help us. And because there's no shelter, or there's no cave here, kind of just have to move her back to camp, because you can't make a camp here without a cave. But that's going to be the end of her turn. So I think I'm going to have him go mining. I'm going to spend 2 energy on that and come over here. So I'm going to put all these in to the bag. R to mix them up and then pull them back out, so I don't know which one's which. I'll do the same for the others. All right, and mining in a cave is sun, cloud, clay, river. So let's put those in, mix them around. And if we were playing a physical game, you could actually kind of try to feel for the one you want. That is allowed to feel, but the developers have said it's harder than you think. So I'm going to pull 1, resolve the omen, which is a sun. And I think, yeah, we have sun, right? So that should be a good thing. We have sun and cloud. And let's take a look at the mining guide here. Sun effect. Match effect is gain a major boost to green. And one day I'll remember that is conviction. So he gets that here, which is nice, I guess. And we get a river stone for that, which isn't the one I wanted, but I guess that's okay. We pull another one, and it is a cloudstone, also not the one we wanted. See, the omen is also sun, so he gets another major boost to the same stat. So done with that to mix those up. So still no second sunstone, which is a bummer. You know what, the best use of this rock might just be to give it to yellow, but we actually can't give it to her because she's in the wrong spot. I think I'm just gonna have to spend 2 energy and just move her back. She has to spend 2 energy to move because she's moving through this forest here. Kind of a bummer. I wonder if I should explore like this way instead, because we have, no, there's a lake here, so none of this is easy to move through. So that means it's back to green. I burned through that energy pretty fast. I wonder if we can just get a little bit more food. I'm gonna go foraging in the forest, and hopefully we can complete that objective. There's a predator and a no predator, and also no food. There's a root here, so that's nice, and there's 3 roots in the back over here. I could also be collecting wood. I'm gonna lean toward no predator, so let's keep this one and then go from there. Predator and no predator again, and this one also has animal tracks, which is nice. Make sure you can see all 3. One card I've already selected. Now I'm gonna choose from among these 2. The tracks. Well, this was a foreground root plant, but it also has predator. I do risk having to fight it. I don't want nuts because I can't crack them open yet. The mushroom's food though, but that's only 1. This, with these 2 cards though, I already have water and water. So at the very least, I could take water, riverstone fish. It doesn't quite get me the 2 food that I want though. Or I have root plant leading toward potentially 3 more in the back. Maximum capacity is 3, but if I get anything in the middle, like animal tracks or another root in the middle, then I could get that. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna push my luck a little bit. Hopefully we don't get... Okay, we need this card to have a predator on it that isn't up front. We did not. So, because I have a predator chosen already, I have to take a card that has a predator if able. There is one, so I have to choose this one, and because it's in front, I have to fight it. And green's 2 options are going to be fight, testing might, and you slay it on a 10+, which... that would be the 2 food I want. We get 2 meat as well as some other materials. Or we can test dexterity to flee and succeed on an 8+. Well, he has 4 might and only 2 dexterity. So mathematically, our odds are 1 in 6. We have to roll a 6 to succeed with either stat. So we may as well stay and fight because the fail case on either one is to get a major injury. So here we go. Let's go for that 6. Come on, green. That's a 3. So we have a 7, which is a fail, and we take a major injury, and we don't get anything else. So nothing comes of our 2 energy spent because I pushed my luck a little bit too far. I could have stopped and taken 2 water, a riverstone, and a fish, or just 1 root plant. But neither of those really what I was looking for. If it had been 2 fish, now we're talking. So can yellow get 2 food with 1 energy? I don't think so. So I think... oh, I've totally forgot. I forgot when she explored this tile, I needed to draw an exploration card. So, that's awkward because I already did her next turn after that, but let's do it. So we're going to draw a discovery card and see what it says. Resolve if you are alone and your hex is a cave. That is not the case. There's no cave. So we have to redraw that. This one says, if you have 2 or more nuts, choose 1. She doesn't have any nuts. This one says, resolve if you are alone and your hex has forest or plains. It does have forest. So when she was here, there was forest there. You enter a clearing and are shocked to see another person across from you. As they approach, your surprise turns to dread at the dawning realization that they look identical to you in every way. Test might to defend yourself, +2 if you are cunning or resourceful. Well, she is cunning, so might +2, she gets to roll +4, and it is a 5. On a 5, 1 through 13, the being throws you to the ground with inhuman strength. You cry out and they stop as if surprised that you can make a noise. They immediately flee, suffer a major injury, and remove this card from the deck. All right, so I'm just going to delete it. And so she also has an injury, and that's a bummer. I mean, so the injuries don't do anything inherently, and because we have 2 characters, our health is 5. So they can have up to 5 things in these slots before they're incapacitated, which means I'm not going to worry about it right now. I could have them eat and just degrade those injuries, But I just want to focus on this objective. So I'm going to put the food here. I'll go ahead and play her next turn the same as I had played it. And I'm not going to spend her last energy, right? Because she's going to get 2, 3, 4 back. So yeah, I'll keep it like that, I guess. All right, so she's going to get 2 naturally. She's going to get 1 because we're going to drink this water. And she's going to get 1 because they are in a location with the camp. Because she filled up, she gets a minor boost, which I guess I'll put here. And then he is going to get 2 normally. 1 because he's drinking this water. 1 for being at a camp, and he's not filling up. To make sure that everything is going to fit. But if not, he could have given items to her. So I might be able to twist stuff around and make it work, but we'll just say that we're giving her something. Maybe, I don't know if it matters. I'm going to give her this river stone, which she can store on her sling, actually. So she's able to use this sling in the future when hunting with dexterity. She can spend that stone to get an extra die. Definitely could help hunting, which means then we're ready to draw a night card, and we get danger and champion, predator and prey. Resolve if your hex has a cave. It does. You spot a predator lurking near camp, clearly malnourished and possibly wounded. Desperation drove it here. Desperation also makes it dangerous. Someone in your hex must test dexterity or might to fight it. So our best chance is going to be her +5 on dexterity. I kind of want to save that for making a fire, but I feel like I can reuse it later. So I'm going to have her test with dexterity with the +5. All right, and we get a 9, and that degrades into a minor boost. And with a 9, after a struggle, you end it, gain a meat, and suffer a minor injury. All right, a meat and a minor injury. So she's got 2 spots filled up. And also, we get the meat, which I think that's the first meat I've gotten. But that'll help toward our food goal and activity +2. And then our new omens are sun and star. Still not comet or moon, though. All right, so +2 puts activity up to 3. Put that 2 here. What was this one? This one got skipped, right? So I should shuffle those back in. All right, next day. I feel like I'm supposed to be messing with these tools and learning how to make something, but I wonder if I can't really make the tools unless I have a fire. Because the wood isn't hardened. So I put myself in a catch-22 here. So one thing I haven't done is like flip this over to see what's on the other side. Because I noticed that some of the items require a drill icon. Like the bone needs a drill and a knife. I have the knife cutting symbol. The hide also needs those 2, but I don't have the drill. So I'm wondering if that comes from flipping this over, but I need another grinding tool for that. Which means I should go mining again. I have a feeling I'm going to have her eat this meat because she has 2 injuries now. Again, not super pressing, but I don't want to just fill up with them. And also, I'm not going to complete the objective unless I have 2 food anyway. So we'll see, but that's what I'm thinking. I think I'm going to have him mine again. We're going to do the cave again. Here's a quicker way. So cave is going to be red, red, blue, white, gray. Red, red, blue, white, gray. Shuffle them up. Pull 1. That's a clay. We haven't gotten that one yet. And that has a cloud. But I think we lost our cloud omen, didn't we? Yeah, we're sun and star now, which means we're going to get the negative effect of the cloud. Oh, it's not negative. It's gain of water. So I'll take that. So he gets a water and a clay, which needs fire to be processed. Of course it does. Pull another one. There's our second sunstone. And this time we got a star, which matches. So we get the match effect, which is gain +2 of this stone. Is that +2? That's not like normally you get 1. That's +2. It's going to be 3 of that stone. So we get 1, 2, 3. Wow. So that is really good. So he can definitely do some processing now. We got some, well, I guess we don't, well, they can grind each other. So yeah. If we had more, we could grind this. Nobody else has anything to grind. This needs fire. This can crack. No, never mind. Oh, I can crack a nut. I could even crack one more thing if we wanted to take anything from her. But no, all her stuff is complicated. So I think I would rather, do I want a 3rd processed cloudstone or just a second whenever one of these is. So I'll probably do that. But that'll be for his next turn because yellow is now. And I think she is going to go and try to get the food. Hopefully not encounter a predator this time. Man, should I be doing a fire? I don't know. And we're just going to camp out in this cave again. So just going to do another, have her forage in the forest. Hold 2 cards. Oh my gosh. All right, that's fine. Just get that out of the way. Actually, that's good. Get it out of the way up front. I'm not looking too closely, but I know I don't. Yeah, I don't need those right off the bat. These both have predators. It's better to not have the closer one though. Just gives you more options later. They both have a root up front. Although this has wood up front, but this has wood up front too. I'm wondering if this card by itself would let you just grab 3 wood and a mushroom and a feather. I was kind of ambiguous last game about whether like one card can lead to its own foreground or if the same card can be used twice. But I didn't see anything in the rules that would prevent that. So based on my reading of the rules, you would be allowed to just with this single card take 3 wood, a feather, and a mushroom, which seems weird. But I'm gonna ditch this and I'm gonna keep going. I would like to get the roots, I think. Is that my priority, the food? Yeah, wood is nice, but I'm gonna go for roots. All right, that's good. And all right, yeah, no monsters. We got mid-ground roots, no bonus items on the roots. Right, so we got foreground, mid-ground, and background roots, which means I can easily take 3 of that. Kind of awkward to go foraging and not get any bonus items, but we got 3 food, which means we're now pretty good on food. Oh wait, purple is the good side. I don't know why purple looks like the decaying side to me. Purple is the fresh side for the roots. So is her turn. We have enough food to complete the thing now. But it doesn't, this goal is completed when at the start of the night phase, it has 5 food on it. So we can't complete it right now anyway. I think I will have him do a process action. So anything else that needs to be cracked? No, I already checked for that. So this isn't going to be used. But this cracking symbol is going to strike this nut. So it's now edible and it doesn't perish. We can eat that whenever we want. The grinding symbol can be used to grind this and it flips into a grinding thing. Okay. And then, so we get 2 of those. All right, so now I've got, I mean, it is different. It's not just the same thing because now it can be used to craft with based on the icons that are on the side there, but a little bit awkward. Feel like probably needs to be combined with sticks in some way. I mean, the fact that sticks have icons on them means they can be crafted with, as we evidence by making these arrowheads or stone head arrows. So I could try to make like a mallet or something like this. Maybe I'll do that next time or something. Or I could do it now. What am I trying to do? What are my I want to build a tool. Because I don't really want to build my settlement here or here. Or if I did there, I'd need a forest. So yeah, it's really, here is the only option without a tool. Or here, I guess. So you know what? I think I'm going to give these items to her and spend 1. Oops. Uh-oh, I accidentally just deleted them, so we'll just remake them. There we go. So we're gonna have her spend an energy and try to craft this. So let's see, weapons were vertical and tools are horizontal. Was that what the tip card said? It said tools are a horizontal wood or bone, but I have to read left to right. So if it's horizontal, how can that doesn't look like I would make anything like that. Is that a weapon of some kind? Or should I do like this? Or if I do it by red, it's vertical, but that's super weird. I don't know if I'm supposed to arrange them the way I expect them to go together, in which case it might be something like this. All right, that thing said vertical handle for tools. So I'm gonna try to build this and I might cheat. Let's see what this gives me. So because the leftmost symbol is blue, I'm gonna look in the blue section of the codex and I'm gonna look up the entry 2, 4, 2, 3, because those are the numbers of symbols along the line, and these can be paired up, or at least I can make an attempt because they both have red diamonds on these adjacent edges. So blue 2, 4, 2, 3, and it says, yeah, I got nothing. So I'm gonna cheat and try something else because I was following the tip. This looks more like something. So I'm gonna instead look up blue 5, 4, 2, 2. That's still nothing. I said I could make a spear, but a cloudstone isn't a suitable tip. Well, I'm not trying to make a spear. All right, still cheating. I'm gonna build a yellow. You know what? I'll spend another energy for this. I'm gonna make a second attempt, more legitimize my play here. The first one was just because the rules card, tip card said try to build a vertical shaft. But anyway, I'm going to do second attempt, yellow 4522. And this is still saying the same thing about a spear. So guess I can't build a hammer. So we wasted a couple energy. Oh, and I guess he passed. So technically after she crafted, it would have been his turn, but I think we just have him pass. They'll both pass with their last energy. I'm going to put, we got a lot of roots now. Oh, I'm not going to be able to store all this stuff. So we can finish this with 2 more. I might just have them both eat then, because I don't think I have trouble storing some of this stuff. Give them both water. They don't have enough water. Only one of them can eat and drink, which actually means one of them should have spent their last energy to collect water. So we can do the collect water action to get water. I think that should work out. And we maybe even wasted something. But anyway, let's see how much of this I can fit now, because now we are a little bit tight on space. That basically fits. I'm pretty sure I could do it with more finagling, so I'm not going to mess with it. Actually, I could put a rock onto this sling just to store it there. I don't know if I'm allowed to take the rock back off, but I think that counts as kind of like extra inventory space. So now she's going to get 2 base energy, 2 for eating and drinking, and 1 for being in a camp. And because she ate and drank, she can drop an injury. And because she filled up her energy, she can get a minor boost, which I think I'm going to take back on dexterity. He gets 2 base. He ate and drank. Andy was at a camp. So yeah, we waste a little bit, but he gets to degrade that injury from major to minor. And we're going to resolve. Actually, I think technically we're supposed to do this at the start of the night phase. So before we even start regaining energy, let's go ahead and flip the card. It says you managed to build a stockpile of food for the lean times to come. So I didn't cheat at all. Oh, at the end of each night phase, increase unrest by 1 if this goal has not been completed. Ooh, I didn't do that. So I think we did 2 night phases. I should have bumped unrest up twice. Make sure none of these other ones say anything like that. There should be like a big symbol that's like, hey, stop, night phase effect. But all right, I think that's corrected now. Discard all the tokens on this card. If 3 or more of the food on this card were vegetation, grains, nuts, roots, or mushrooms, put the epic goal herbalism into play. If 3 or more of the food on this card was meat, put the epic goal hunter's trial into play. Wow, I did 3 fish. So we're gonna be hunters apparently. So let's find hunter's trial, which is right here from this little deck up there. And I guess this one is done now. I'm gonna put it over here with these other completed cards. And now we have this epic goal. Your people have honed their hunting technique, but you are not the only skilled hunters in the Vale. As a test of your prowess, you have to set forth to hunt a predatory creature. Remember that while foraging, you can follow animal paths to intentionally encounter predators. This goal is completed when the character encounters a predator while foraging and slays it. So that's going to be a more challenging one. We're definitely going to need weapons, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, her sling can't even be used against the predator because it's when you hunt using dexterity. So that won't help with the predator problem. So we did energy, we did that card, we did reconciling inventory. It's time for a night card. Dream solo. Choose one and resolve it. In your mind, you see 2 paths in the Vale. Walk a familiar path. Oh, so this is solo, so I should have chosen who's doing it before I get too far here. I think I'll choose yellow, right? Yeah, she's got slightly better stats and more boosts. Walk a familiar path to a lush clearing, gain energy and a minor boost, or walk a dark path stamped flat by a massive tread, gain 2 lore and increase activity. All right, well, I'm doing that one. So 2 lore and 1 activity. Oh no, wait. Plus it probably says an activity value at the bottom of 1. So we're getting 2 total activity and 2 total lore to 5 activity, which is getting a little bit dangerous. The lore is supposed to be kept in my, like our journal log, but on like pencil and paper, but I'm going to keep these tokens because they're not technically meant to be tokens. In this way, they don't take up inventory space. So we also have a comet now. So we need to be careful of the activity because it says starting at 6 bad things start to happen, which will inevitably happen next turn unless there's a night card that has activity 0. So let me actually prepare myself. The nights grow increasingly bitter at the end of every night phase. Increase unrest by 1 for each character in each hex with a character that does not have fire. Ugh. So, ugh. Do I really have to make fire? I mean, maybe I have to make fire to make tools to make the camp or the outpost or whatever. All right. Well, now that I have Comet, I want to go explore this and check the omen. All right, so here's my plan. First up, she's going to collect water. Ooh, I found a big problem with making our base here, which is that there is no water source. There's also no foraging source. So you can't fish, you can't forage. So sure, I can build there, but I have to leave to do anything. Huh. So I probably, I don't know if I would do this if I were like going to be playing for real, but I want to do it. So I'm going to, first, no, we're staying for now, and she is just gathering water. So I spent 1 energy to do the gather water action, give her more water. Now they both are set for the night. They're not going to heal their injuries unless we get them some food, which I don't think we're going to, but at least they have that. Now he is going to move. So in order to go through, if to move down off this tile, it would only cost 1 energy, but because he's going to have to move through this, I believe it costs 2. Oh wow, I was looking up the movement rules to make sure I was correct about that, which it seems like I am. Although, look at this example. This lake, I guess, isn't blocking. You can just go in around the lake. I guess the lake is blocking this edge with the river, but this edge is not blocked. Anyway, if anything along the path is blocked, it's just 1 extra energy for the entire move, as opposed to the base of 1 energy. So it's 2 energy to move. This is the part I missed. After the character arrives in the new hex, the player draws a discovery card. So you could draw a discovery card even if you've already explored the tile before. Somehow I thought that the discovery cards are for only when you're discovering a new tile, but that is not true. So he's moving down there. He spent 2 energy. We're going to draw a discovery card. Resolve if your hex has a lake or dried flats. It does have dried flats. Inclement weather catches you unawares, and torrential sheets of rain churn the ground in a dangerous muck. You begin to sink. Test might +2 if you have rope. Well, he does not have rope. His might is a 4. So let's roll the die, and we get a 5 total, which probably isn't good. 1 to 5. In the hours it takes you to pull free, you become ill. Oof. Lose an energy and suffer a minor disease. Well, that's not nice. I don't think you can do that instead of actually taking the minor. I think you have to actually take the minor injury there. Oh, minor disease. That's not the same as an injury. Although I do believe it takes up the same kind of spot, but it's technically a different thing. So this is a minor injury. As far as I can tell, these are the same thing. I mean, obviously they're called different things and may be referred to separately, but they can be healed the same way, and they take up positions on the health track in the same way. So now that he's here, I think I'm just going to leave him there, and we're going to do Yellow's turn, and she's going to do the same thing so that they can be together. Oof, this is going to be a rougher round. Hopefully her card isn't awful. Sudden slip, resolve if your hex has a river or lake. It does not. Pitfall, resolve if your hex has wetlands or dried flats. Does. While strolling along open ground, your feet suddenly catch. To your horror, you realize you've been walking into a tar pit. You're already being pulled deeper. Test trees to remain calm. Add +2 if you are resourceful. Add +2 if you discard a wood or have a walking stick. Can I add that after I roll? Probably not. So to spend a stick, and is she resourceful? No, green is resourceful. So she has to test green, which of course is called conviction. She has a 2. If I spend a stick, is that even going to help? I'm going to spend 1, so she gets to add 4. Ugh. Oops, not F. I need to do R. 3, so she gets a 7. It's probably bad. 1 to 7. After hours of nearly going under, you finally make it out alive, suffer a minor disease, and lose all but 1 energy. Well, that's kind of harsh. So all but 1 energy. Fortunately, that's only 1. And a minor disease as well. So we're not going to be able to do our plan. This is going to be a rough night. But what we can do is investigate the omen. So at any time during their turn, a player can investigate an omen sign depicted in the art of a game component. If that omen matches the current omen on the top card of the night deck, discard pile, look up the omen and component ID. So at least we get to do that. So we're going to go over here and we're going to check out this comet right there, because our current night omen card thing is comet. So I guess I just look up 18 Comet 18. And here it is. It says, an unfathomably large eggshell lies before you, split and dry. Its white would have once been an ocean, its yolk an island, pushing thoughts of delicious lands of food from your mind. You wonder what could have hatched from it. Gain 2 lore as your knowledge of the valley expands. All right, well, lore is good. So we're up to 4 now. And that does complete this thing. So we've now successfully investigated an omen. You have found secret lore in the sky sign. Gain 2 lore. Each character gains a major boost to an ability determined by the omen you found, which is going to be conviction. Yeah, conviction. Oh, but he's already got it, so she gets it. Oh, but it should be major. 2 more lore. 2 more lore. Major. And illustrate the saga discovery of the omen on the primal cave wall, including the omen you found somewhere in your drawing. So I think this is my cave wall I'm supposed to draw onto. I don't do a lot of drawing in Tabletop Simulator. Can I make my pin smaller? I guess not. So I'm supposed to draw a comet somehow. Oh, I'm accidentally using the line tool. Comet. That looks terrible. And we found it in an egg. I don't know how to draw an eggshell. There you go. But there was nothing inside the egg. So I don't think you'd want to take up that much of your cave wall with your drawing, but I think the game is going to come with at least 1 cave wall printout that you can draw on. And I wonder how many uses that will have. Our characters are pretty exhausted now, and the only action we can do is either leave or mine. She's done with 1 energy. So I think we're just past. Unfortunately, I was planning to have enough energy to build the settlement there, but instead I don't. So 2 energy base, 1 for having water, and that's it. 2 energy base, 1 for having water. At least for him, that will fill him up so he can get a minor boost. Let's put it in might. Maybe we should try to fight a predator. I feel like +5 is still not good enough. Could have had him eat this nut, or I could have passed it to her after her other action. She's a little bit worse off. So you know what? Let's do it. Clear her injury, or her illness in this case. And time for a night card. Weather, group, sullen rain. The sound of rain shakes you from your slumber. Everyone in your hex must test awareness to endure. Add +1 for each of the following you have. Clothing item, a camp, and fire. So each of them needs to test the eyeball symbol. She's got 5 because of 1 boost there. So she gets a 6. And he gets just +2 for a total of, wow, 3. So 6 and 3. And that's going to spend her boost. Got a bad feeling about that. Those are both minimum. They both lose an energy and a major disease. Well, they don't lose a major disease. They get 1. So there you go. There you go. This is not as much of a cakewalk as the tutorial. We now have cloud and +3 activity, putting us up to 8, which of course means we are at 6 or above, which means we get an extra unrest because there's 1 hex with at least 1 character that doesn't have fire. 9 is going to make an event happen. So anyway, 1 more unrest. Boop. Up to 3. What can we do today? I'm tempted to leave. I mean, we did the exploration. Maybe we just head down to here and maybe we can build somewhere that actually does have water. But that means we're spending another night without, well, I don't know what's there, but it's potentially another night that doesn't have shelter. If I can make a camp at least, that would be good. But I'm going to do it. So I'm going to spend 2 for green to move him here, which means I'm going to flip it over. And we do have a cave here. We got water, so that's better. What else is going on here? What is coming out the top of that? I wonder if that's considered like a cloud omen. It looks like a behemoth or something coming out of that mountain. Some kind of spiraling plant. But if that's not an omen, I don't see anything else that would be. So he's going to go there, and we're going to have to draw a discovery card for him. Resolve if your hex is a mountain. It does. Walking along a ridge, you find yourself at the edge of a precipice that overlooks a deep ravine. Test green to suppress fear, +2 if you're indomitable. So he has a major boost there, so he's going to get +4 to that. And something good. 8. Dang, you feel dizzy and nearly faint. You'll have to find another route. He's down to 0 energy. Just like that. But it's explored now. Oh, they don't have water. Actually, there's 1. But yeah, we're going to have to do something about that. But she's going to have to spend 2 as well to move here and hope that it doesn't run her out of energy. Otherwise, this could be bad. So yeah, just for moving, you have to draw. Oh, wait, I don't have to draw. She only has to spend 1 energy. I spent 2, but there's nothing blocking. This mountain is kind of like off to the side. And based on that illustration example, I feel like that is not blocking this edge. So I think she only has to spend 1 energy for that move since he's already explored it. So I'm going to give her 1 back, which is definitely makes me feel a little bit better. Resolve if your hex is a river or ravine. It does have a river. You hear the rush of water and decide to follow it. Test awareness to study your surroundings. +3 if you're resourceful. But he's the resourceful one. So what is she testing? Awareness? The eyeball. So she gets a +4. And that's a 7, which is going to be, you find water, but little else, gain a water. Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. Still the worst result, but a good result. And now she has 2. So first of all, she can give an energy or water to him. So they're both in good shape. I'm tempted to send her fishing, and then they can both eat, hopefully, or foraging. What's better? Maybe fishing? So, man, we're going to spend another night without fire. But, or she could try to make fire. She has 2 sticks left. And she has the boost. Maybe this is time. This is the time to shine. We both have water. You know what? We're going to try to make fire. So discard a wood, test dexterity. So I'm going to discard the wood. Dexterity is 3 plus a major boost. So +5. We're going to have to spend that, but +5. Boom. 5 and 5 is 10, which means she got 10 plus place of fire. Wow. All right. We did it. We did it, my friends. That's a fish. No, I want the fire. There we go. And we get to put a fire into this hex. And I'm pretty sure, thinking about it more, I was like worried that if I built a settlement here, I'd lose the fire, but I don't think that's true. The fire is in this hex now. So, I mean, I just have to build the settlement in that hex. This goal is completed after this character succeeds at the action. With the power of the flame in your hand, the shadowed corners of the valley beckon you to explore. Read entry 155 and put the epic goal, the secret ways, into play. So I'll grab the secret ways and read 155. Your familiarity with fire has grown, and with tenacity you can create a flame through friction reliably. Still, you cannot help but wonder if there are quicker ways to make sparks. You can now make fire at will, so long as you have sticks and patience. Add the following action to the culture section of the journal. So you have to write your own rules into the journal? That is interesting. Spend an energy to discard a wood to test dexterity or conviction to start a fire. So it's the same effect as what's on the card. It's just now it's available all the time instead of only because of the card. I would not call that more reliably. And then the secret ways says the valley is filled with interconnected chasms, caves, and tunnels. Perhaps you can find something to address your current problems deep in this strange underworld. Put the delving deck into play. Each character can perform the following action. Spend an energy at a cave or chasm. If you have access to fire, perform the delving ability or activity. This goal is completed after a character delves to a depth of 5 or greater and exits. So I did read the delving rules, so I know what they're talking about, but delving wasn't available until now. But now we have a delving deck, which is up here, and maybe we'll use that at some point. Oh, I should, well, anyway, don't know if I should have shuffled that yet. But so now, slay the thing, do the delving. I still haven't even established the outpost. And our characters are pretty low on energy, but, well, I guess there's no point to build a hut now, or the little camp piece, because the fire, you get 1 energy if you have a fire or a camp. There's no reason to have both as far as I can tell. She could spend her last energy to gather water, but then she would be short on getting a boost. So I think we just rest there. She gets 2, 1 for water, 1 for fire. He gets 2, 1 for water, 1 for fire, and she gets a boost. I'll put it back on dexterity. Their inventories seem fine. And it's time for the night phase. Get rid of that and see how bad it is. Skyfire. Oh, again, I guess we'll choose yellow to resolve this one. You're supposed to a thunderous crash drags you from the depths of your dreams, and you see smoke rising from the distance where lightning struck. You must test conviction to overcome your fear. You may spend up to 3 lore to add 2 per lore spent. Huh. Well, I'm not reading the results yet. Do I want to spend my lore on that? She's going to be testing with a +4. Oh no, green is also going to be +4. So, I don't know. All right, I'm going to spend 2 lore and hopefully I don't regret that. So she's going to have +4, 6, 8. +8 to a 6 is a 14. All right, that is definitely a 9 plus. You follow the smoke to a tree, its branches trailing smoke, place a fire in your hex, activity +1. And our new omens are sun and cloud. All right, I don't know if a hex can have 2 fire, but oh, that's not what I wanted 2 of. So yeah, we got a stack of fire now. Activity +1, which puts us at 9. And over here it says 6 to 21. At the end of night, increase unrest if there's no fire with the characters. But both characters are in the same hex. That hex says fire. No unrest from that. Second row, though, says 9 activity event. Members of your society report strange events in the night. Shuffle cards NBO1 through NBO5 into the night deck. So maybe that's what's over here. What do we have here? NBO5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No pausing, no reading that. Put that over into the night deck and shuffle. And that wasn't too bad. I don't know how bad those upcoming night cards are, but here we go. So I'm actually going to wrap it up there and save the rest for a part 2. You just saw me play the first game session of me playing the beginning of this challenge in the green shirt and then in the blue shirt. And that was actually half of the play session. So the other half of that play session, I didn't even end up finishing. I still need to go back and finish it. So I decided just to split the whole thing into 2 parts. So stay tuned for that. One quick rules note is I just ended the night phase having made a fire, and I totally forgot for this round plus the next couple rounds in the recording you haven't seen yet, that I had to pay a fire at the end at the end of every night phase in order to keep that fire going, which I didn't do. So hopefully I'll fix that when I go back in through my 3rd game session of this same second demo challenge. But anyway, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Subscribe so we can get more subscribers, and bye.